Elvis Presley and Mahendra of Nepal. What happens when the king of rock and roll meets actual royalty? This captivating moment captures two global icons from very different worlds meeting in Hollywood. In May 1960, fresh off his military service, Elvis Presley hosted King Mahendra and Queen Ratna of Nepal on a movie studio lot. Elvis was preparing for his highly anticipated return to cinema, a comeback film that would launch a new, more polished era of his career. It is fascinating to imagine the king of rock and roll mingling with the Nepali monarchs, who were on a sightseeing tour of Southern California. After their visit with Elvis, the royal couple's itinerary included uniquely American attractions like Disneyland, followed by a surprisingly industrial stop at an El Segundo oil refinery. This photo perfectly illustrates the immense cultural curiosity that surrounded Elvis, making him an international figure whose influence spanned from movie sets in Los Angeles to royal palaces across the globe.
Elvis Presley with Ursula Andress and Elsa Cardenas in Fun in Acapulco, 1963. Few movies showcased Elvis's magnetic charm quite like this tropical adventure, Fun in Acapulco. Here, the king poses alongside his two stunning co-stars, Swiss actress and Bond girl Ursula Andress and Mexican film star Elsa Cardenas, who played the spirited bullfighter Dolores Gomez. While the film perfectly captured the sun-drenched atmosphere of the Mexican resort town, there's an amazing secret about the production. Elvis never actually set foot in Acapulco. Producer Hal Wallace feared the star's presence would cause riots and chaos, making filming impossible. Instead, elaborate sets, including an exact replica of the Acapulco Hilton pool, were built at Paramount Studios in Hollywood. All of Elvis's scenes were shot domestically, utilizing clever editing and background footage to place him seamlessly into the vibrant Mexican landscape, proving his star power transcended physical location. Hal B. Wallace and Elvis Presley relax between scenes of GI Blues, 1959. This photograph captures a pivotal, often overlooked partnership in Hollywood history, Elvis Presley with his longtime producer, Hal B. Wallace. Taken during the filming of GI Blues in 1959, this movie was monumental. It was Elvis's first film after his return from the U.S. Army, a moment that could have made or broken his career. Wallace, a legendary producer who launched the careers of stars like Humphrey Bogart and Dean Martin, essentially charted Elvis's 1960s film path. Wallace's vision for GI Blues transformed Elvis from the raw, edgy rock and roller of the 50s into a respectable, clean-cut leading man. This strategic shift helped reassure studios and Hollywood that Elvis was a bankable post-military star, leading to a decade of lucrative, though often criticized, musical comedies and romantic roles.
Elvis Diploma Junior High School Tupelo. Long before he held a gold record or an Academy Award nomination, Elvis held this simple piece of paper, his junior high school diploma from Tupelo. This artifact, now preserved at Graceland, transports us back to his formative years in Mississippi. Elvis attended what was then Tupelo Junior High before his family moved to Memphis in 1948, when he was just 13. School records from this era offer a fascinating glimpse into his talents, revealing that while he struggled in subjects like geography and arithmetic, he consistently earned high marks in music. This diploma reminds fans that the future king was once just a shy, poor boy in overalls who found his calling early. It is a humble symbol of the small-town life that deeply influenced his future blend of gospel, country, and blues music.
Entering Graceland, the music room. The first glimpse inside the king's beloved mansion reveals a space dedicated to his greatest passion. This is the music room, located immediately adjacent to the famous living room at Graceland. Dominated by the iconic white grand piano, this room was not just for show.
It was a cherished space where Elvis and his closest friends would gather for informal jam sessions. While he recorded much of his professional work in studios, the music room was the heartbeat of Graceland, often filled with the sound of his first love, gospel music. The enormous television set visible here was also a hallmark of the king's love for media. This initial room on the Graceland tour perfectly sets the stage, signaling to visitors that while this was a king's castle, it was fundamentally a home built around music.
Newspaper advertisement for Always Elvis. Less than a year after the world lost its king, his legacy was already cementing itself in his favorite city, as shown by this ad for the Always Elvis convention. Held in September 1978 at the Las Vegas Hilton, this location was deeply significant. The Hilton, formerly the International Hotel, was Elvis's home base during his celebrated residency throughout the 1970s, where he performed 837 consecutive sold-out shows. The convention was not only a gathering of devoted fans, but also the venue for the highly emotional unveiling of the famous life-size Elvis statue that is still displayed there today. This advertisement proves that even immediately following his passing, the collective desire of his fans to celebrate and preserve his memory was already powerful enough to create a lasting, organized movement that continues decades later.
The home where Elvis was born. Behind every legend is a humble beginning, and for the king, it started in this tiny, unassuming house in Tupelo, Mississippi. This two-room shotgun-style home is where Elvis Aaron Presley was born on January 8, 1935. This historical building was constructed by his father, Vernon Presley, with assistance from his brother and father on a budget of just $180 borrowed dollars. The family's difficult financial circumstances meant they only lived here for 3 years before losing the house. A profound and often forgotten detail of his birth is that Elvis was one of identical twins. His brother, Jesse Garon, was stillborn, meaning Elvis grew up as an only child. This home stands as a powerful testament to the poverty and faith that shaped his early life and profoundly influenced the blend of gospel and blues music that would eventually propel him to global stardom. Elvis's Jungle Room, Graceland, Elvis Presley Mansion. Welcome to arguably the most famous and unconventional room in rock and roll history, Elvis's legendary Jungle Room at Graceland. Originally a patio, Elvis enclosed the space in the mid-1960s, but it received its signature exotic look during a 1970s redecoration. The room is instantly recognizable for its deep green shag carpeting covering the floor and sometimes the ceiling, the uniquely carved wooden furniture, and the indoor rock waterfall built into the wall. While the decor is often described as over-the-top, this room held deep personal significance for Elvis. Most famously, the relaxed, homey atmosphere of the Jungle Room led Elvis to use it as a makeshift studio for his final professional recording sessions in 1976, resulting in the albums From Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee, and Moody Blue. This space is truly where his private life and professional legacy merged.
2011 Techno-Classica in Essen, Germany, Elvis Presley's Mercedes-Benz 600. Elvis was known for his extraordinary generosity, often giving cars away to friends and strangers within weeks of purchase. However, this magnificent Mercedes-Benz 600, pictured here at the Techno-Classica in Germany, was one of the rare automobiles he kept for years. The Mercedes-Benz 600 Grosser was the ultimate luxury sedan of its time, favored by world leaders and elite figures. Elvis took delivery of this car in December 1970, and it remained a staple in his garage longer than most. Adding a personal touch, Elvis specifically requested that the famous TCB logo, which stands for Taking Care of Business, be placed discreetly on the front doors. Its survival and appearance at car shows decades later highlight not just Elvis's extravagant taste in vehicles, but the enduring collectible value of anything that once belonged to the king.
Elvis's Pool Room, Graceland, Elvis Presley Mansion. Step into the room that perfectly embodies Elvis's playful, personalized decorating style. This is the pool room at Graceland, an extraordinary space defined by its distinctive walls and ceiling, which are covered in hundreds of yards of pleated fabric, giving the room an unforgettable tent-like effect. This elaborate design choice, implemented in the 1970s, transformed a simple recreation area into an immersive environment. Fans who visit Graceland today often look for the small, famous tear in the felt of the pool table. Legend has it that the tear was caused by one of Elvis's friends attempting an overly ambitious trick shot. Elvis, known for his laid-back approach to imperfections at home, decided to leave the rip as a permanent memento of a fun, rowdy night at the mansion.
An advertisement for Elvis Presley's single, I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, 19 May 1956. Imagine the excitement of seeing this advertisement in May 1956, promoting the King's newest single. This record, featuring the hit I Want You, I Need You, I Love You on the A-side and My Baby Left Me as the flip side, solidified Elvis's dramatic shift from the small Sun Records label to the major power of RCA Victor. What makes this release fascinating is that RCA was scrambling. The demand for new Elvis material was so high that they paired the new, slow A-side with the bluesy, faster B-side, which was actually a previously unreleased song from his Sun sessions. The combination was brilliant. It provided fans with both the romantic balladeer and the raw rockabilly sound they craved, ensuring the single would become another smash hit during his explosive breakout year. Advertisement for Elvis Presley's single Jailhouse Rock, 5 October 1957. Look closely at this advertisement for the monumental 1957 single Jailhouse Rock. This song was more than just a hit, it became an anthem and the electrifying centerpiece of Elvis's third film. The song itself, co-written by the legendary team of Jerry Leiber and Mike Stoller, was a masterpiece of rock and roll storytelling. Its success was immediate and immense, dominating the charts just as the movie was released. The B-side, the rhythmic Treat Me Nice, was equally popular, making this a double-sided smash. This moment in time captures the peak of the young, rebellious Elvis, a cultural force who seamlessly balanced a chart-topping music career with Hollywood stardom, permanently changing the face of popular entertainment.
Transmittal and Certificate of Achievement awarded to Sergeant Elvis A. Presley. This document represents one of the King's proudest accomplishments, his honorable service to the United States Army. This Certificate of Achievement was awarded to Sergeant Elvis A. Presley upon his discharge in 1960, recognizing his faithful and efficient performance of duty. The Army brass, initially worried that having a global superstar in the ranks would be a chaotic publicity stunt, were ultimately impressed. Elvis served as a regular soldier, not in special services, earning a promotion to sergeant and qualifying as an expert marksman with various weapons. This certificate is a historical artifact that proves Elvis's deep commitment to his duty and country, challenging critics who claimed his fame would make him a privileged soldier. Nixon Thank You Letter to Elvis, 31 December 1970. Here is a piece of political and cultural history, a thank you letter from President Richard M. Nixon to Elvis Presley, dated December 31, 1970. This letter followed one of the most bizarre and famous meetings in Oval Office history, where Elvis arrived unannounced to request a Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs badge. The official thank you notes, a gift Elvis presented to the president during the meeting. The whole episode reveals Elvis's serious, though misguided, desire to fight America's drug culture and youth dissatisfaction. The sheer audacity of the king showing up at the White House to volunteer his services is legendary, making this simple letter an extraordinary memento of their strange encounter. Arriving in Hollywood and Elvis for President, Los Angeles, 16 August 1956.
Look at the frenzy surrounding Elvis as he arrives in Hollywood on August 16, 1956, to begin work on his very first feature film, Love Me Tender. This image captures his exploding popularity as he is mobbed by eager fans desperate for an autograph. What is particularly amusing is the sign one fan holds, proclaiming "Elvis for President." This tongue-in-cheek campaign sign perfectly encapsulates the powerful cultural and generational shift that Elvis represented. He was no longer just a musical sensation. He was a phenomenon so influential that his fans treated him like a political leader. This photo marks the precise moment Elvis truly began his transition from a recording artist to a full-fledged movie star. Elvis signs autographs in Minneapolis, 1956. This candid photo captures Elvis engaging directly with his fans in Minneapolis, Minnesota, during his electrifying 1956 tour. That year was a whirlwind of appearances, records, and media exposure that cemented his title as the King. The contrast here is striking. The global superstar stands in casual attire, still accessible enough to sign autographs for a few local kids. The photographer, Powell F. Kruger of the Minneapolis Tribune, perfectly froze a fleeting moment of genuine connection before Elvis's fame made such spontaneous interactions almost impossible. This image is a valuable reminder of Elvis's genuine, humble roots, showing a star who still valued the individual fan before the massive security walls went up. Elvis Presley's white boots with rivets laid out in the guitar shape, 1970 to 1976 by Adonis. These boots are pure stage spectacle. Crafted by the legendary designer Adonis, Elvis wore creations like these during his dazzling Las Vegas and touring years of the 1970s. The detail is incredible. White leather boots embellished with hundreds of silver studs and rivets intentionally laid out in the shape of a guitar. This design element was a clear nod to his musical identity, even as he performed without his instrument. The transition from the simple suits of the 50s to these highly stylized, bespoke costumes was a huge part of his iconic 70s image. These boots are a symbol of the theatrical grandeur Elvis brought to the stage, transforming a simple concert into a show-stopping, larger-than-life event. Elvis Portable TV Philco Safari IMG 2926.jpg. If there is one thing Elvis loved almost as much as music, it was gadgets and electronics, especially television sets. This artifact, a Philco Safari portable TV from the early 1960s, is a great example of the King's expensive tastes. Elvis famously owned multiple televisions in nearly every room of Graceland, and this particular model was considered a highly advanced luxury item at the time. It symbolizes his lifelong fascination with technology. Visitors to Graceland often see his obsession firsthand, but a rare portable unit like this shows that even his more casual, personal belongings were top of the line. It gives a glimpse into the unique, private world of Graceland, a home that was always on the cutting edge of entertainment technology. Message from U.S. Army Public Information Division, releasing information about Private Elvis Presley's basic and... This document is a crucial piece of media history, showing how the U.S. Army managed the career of the world's most famous private. This official message from the Army's Public Information Division details the transfer of Private Elvis Presley in May 1958. It clearly states his assignment to the 3rd Armored Division in Germany following his basic and advanced training. The Army was under immense pressure from the public and press to provide updates on their celebrity recruit, and they handled it with military precision. This internal communication confirms the serious, non-celebrity nature of his deployment, ensuring that his service was respected and seen as genuine by the public and his fellow soldiers. Message from U.S. Army Public Information Division, releasing information about Private Elvis Presley's basic and... This document is a crucial piece of media history, showing how the U.S. Army managed the career of the world's most famous private. This official message from the Army's Public Information Division details the transfer of Private Elvis Presley in May 1958. It clearly states his assignment to the 3rd Armored Division in Germany following his basic and advanced training. The Army was under immense pressure from the public and press to provide updates on their celebrity recruit, and they handled it with military precision. This internal communication confirms the serious, non-celebrity nature of his deployment, ensuring that his service was respected and seen as genuine by the public and his fellow soldiers. De Tomaso Pantera, once owned by Elvis Presley, on display at the Peterson Automotive Museum, Los Angeles, 2003. This stunning Italian sports car, the De Tomaso Pantera, has one of the wildest stories in Elvis's extensive car collection. Built with an Italian body but powered by a roaring Ford V8 engine, Elvis bought this sleek machine in 1974. The car was notorious for having mechanical issues, and after one particularly frustrating incident where it refused to start after an argument, Elvis's famous temper flared. In a moment of rage, he pulled out his handgun and shot the car twice, leaving 2 bullet holes, one in the steering wheel and one that ricocheted into the floor. Now a permanent exhibit, the car is a remarkable piece of rock and roll history that showcases the King's extravagant lifestyle and legendary impulsive nature.
Tri-City Drive-In Theater advertisement for the biographical romantic musical drama film Jailhouse Rock, 1957. This 1957 drive-in advertisement promotes the classic Jailhouse Rock, Elvis's 3rd and arguably most critically acclaimed film. Released in November 1957, the film featured the now legendary title song and dance sequence, which is still celebrated as one of the best musical numbers in movie history. The advertisement itself highlights the blend of romance, drama, and music that Hollywood crafted for the King. Jailhouse Rock was instrumental in solidifying Elvis's image as a powerful cultural rebel, proving he could handle dramatic acting while delivering unforgettable rock and roll performances, making it a pivotal movie in his cinematic career. Photo of Elvis Presley and a room full of other young men being sworn into the U.S. Army. The moment that truly tested Elvis's commitment to his fans and country is captured in this photo. His induction into the U.S. Army at Fort Chaffee, Arkansas on March 24, 1958. Here, Elvis is sworn in alongside dozens of other young men, taking the oath as a regular private. Colonel Parker made sure to have photographers present, turning the military induction into a global news event, but Elvis insisted on no special treatment. This image perfectly illustrates his decision to serve in a non-celebrity role, a choice that won him immense respect from the public and his country. It was a brief, powerful pause in his career, yet it proved the King was willing to trade his crown for a uniform. Sighton Eriksson, head of RCA Telefunken in Sweden, presents Elvis with Gold Record Award. This moment highlights Elvis's colossal international stardom. Here, Sighton Eriksson, the head of RCA Telefunken in Sweden, presents Elvis with a Gold Record Award for sales of 100,000 copies of his King Creole EPs. This photo, taken around 1959, occurred while Elvis was stationed in Germany during his military service. Even while away from the spotlight and serving his country, his music was conquering the world. The image illustrates that his fame was completely global, and record companies across Europe were eager to recognize his massive sales. It proves that the King's appeal was universal, transcending language and geographical borders, making him a true international superstar.
Bel Air Drive-In Theater advertisement for the musical drama film King Creole, 1958. This advertisement for King Creole, dated July 2, 1958, marks a significant yet bittersweet point in Elvis's film career. Released just before he was deployed overseas, the film is often regarded as Elvis's best acting performance of the 1950s.
Set in New Orleans, the gritty musical drama was directed by Casablanca's Michael Curtiz and was initially meant for James Dean. This ad captures the buzz around the film that presented a slightly darker, more complex character than his previous roles. Its critical and commercial success provided a powerful and mature exit from Hollywood just as Elvis began his 2-year stint in the Army, ensuring his name remained a powerful draw upon his return. Ticket stub souvenir of Elvis Presley concert performance, Chrysler Arena, Ann Arbor, Michigan, April 24, 1977. This small ticket stub from the Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, Michigan on April 24, 1977 carries an incredible historical weight. It represents one of Elvis's final live performances, coming just 4 months before his sudden death in August. For fans who attended, it was a precious final memory of seeing the King in his element on stage. Following his passing, the vast majority of tickets for his sold-out upcoming tour dates were kept by fans as treasured souvenirs instead of being refunded. This simple stub is a poignant symbol of the collective mourning and the immediate, powerful impulse by his millions of fans to hold on to a physical memory of the last days of the King.
Elvis Presley's 1968 television special sued at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. Feast your eyes on the outfit that saved the King's career. This leather suit, on display at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, was designed by Bill Bewley and worn by Elvis during his famous 1968 television special. After years of churning out forgettable films, this special, often called the '68 Comeback Special, was Elvis's fiery return to live performance. The simple yet powerful black leather look instantly reintroduced the raw, dynamic energy of the original Elvis, reminding the world that he was still the greatest rock and roller. This suit marks the dramatic moment Elvis shed his Hollywood image and reignited his career, leading directly into his legendary Vegas residency. Letter from Lieutenant Colonel Vern L. Bowers to the Honorable Frank Kowalski. This letter addresses a fascinating controversy surrounding Elvis's military service. Written by Lieutenant Colonel Vern L. Bowers to Congressman Frank Kowalski, it directly responds to public and political inquiries about the possibility of Elvis receiving an early release from the Army for good behavior. The Army, sensitive to the perception of preferential treatment, had to officially confirm that Elvis would serve his entire 2-year term, just like any other draftee. This document is historical proof that despite his colonel's influence, the Army insisted on treating Elvis as a regular soldier, ensuring fairness to all personnel and enhancing the public's respect for Elvis's commitment to his duty.
Priscilla Presley leaving a courtroom in Santa Monica, California after her divorce with Elvis was finalized. This somber photo captures Priscilla Presley leaving the Santa Monica courtroom on October 9, 1973, after her divorce from Elvis was finalized. Despite the end of their marriage, the day was remarkably respectful and amicable. Elvis and Priscilla remained close friends, even holding hands as they left the courthouse. Their divorce settlement was considered groundbreaking at the time, but the true testament to their bond was their commitment to raising their daughter, Lisa Marie, together. This image is not just a record of a legal proceeding, it is a powerful statement about the enduring love and mutual respect between two people who, despite their differences, shared an unbreakable connection. Elvis Presley's 1975 Super Trike by Supercycles of Memphis, Tennessee at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Only the King would own a machine like this. This incredible vehicle is Elvis Presley's 1975 Super Trike, custom built by Supercycles of Memphis, Tennessee. Elvis was an avid motorcycle enthusiast, but this customized trike represents his love for unique, powerful toys. Its display at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame highlights his extravagant tastes. While he had a large collection of luxury cars, vehicles like the Super Trike were used for leisure and simple rides around the Graceland property.
This custom-built artifact perfectly embodies the spirit of the 1970s king, a man who surrounded himself with one-of-a-kind possessions that reflected his status as the most spectacular entertainer in the world.